Coming up on today's FNN, how police handle their jobs in the age of social media.
Plus, how FNN is inspiring a news program at Valleywood.
And we check out the latest from EK Athletics. Stay tuned for all that and more because FNN starts now. Happy Friday, Falcons. I'm Jasmine Smithers.
And I'm Robel Jacob.
Social media has had a positive and negative view towards police officers. For every positive video, there seems to be a negative one right after it. But how much does social media affect police officers' day-to-day work? I went to find the answer to that exact question. Police officers carry out an important job every day. Social media has portrayed this job in a positive and negative light. I wonder just how hard it is to stick to the police training without getting caught up with the media side of things. I checked out Grand Valley's Police Academy in Holland to talk to Jeff Collard, the director of the academy, to see how he trains his police recruits.
We try to instill in our police officers or our police recruits here at Grand Valley is how critical it is to do the right thing at the right time for the right reasons. Policies and procedures and training at their own agencies are going to be what keeps them safe, keeps the community safe, but also keeps them out of trouble, both internally within their department, but also legally, so they're not breaking the law, they're not doing something inappropriate. And so we just really reassure them that you have to follow the training, you have to stay within the law, and that the training at the departments that you're going to, and then also what we're training you on here are all been vetted. It's legal, it's tactical, it's ethical, and to make sure that they're just ultimately doing the right thing at the right time for the right reasons to keep our communities safe.
Training to be a police officer can be intense work. GVSU Police Academy helps prepare students before they go into real duty work. Chloe Shasma, a student at GVSU Police Academy, says what she looks forward to when she becomes a police officer herself.
I'm mostly looking forward to working within a community because I really like personal connections, and that's one of the main things you get to do as a police officer is you talk to new people every day and you learn new stories.
While training to be a police officer is hard enough, actually being one can be more stressful when put into tough situations. Deputy Alex Carey shares how he handles his job without getting sidetracked by social media.
I mean, it's difficult because it's out there all the time. One of the biggest things I do is just remember the community that we're here to serve. In the city of Kentwood, we're very fortunate that we have a community that's very grateful for us, they're very appreciative of us, whether it be people dropping off treats at the department for us or giving us a smile or a wave when we're going by. So again, for me, it's remembering those people and, remembering some of the bigger calls I've been on where I was able to help. I was help a child who was lost get home, or help a lady who was involved in a domestic situation get the help that she needed where, she might not have been able to do that on her own. That's kind of what I fall back on. And then at the end of the day, we have a job to do. Again, we're here to serve the community and protect the communities.
Although it is hard to try and forget negative things that happen, it is important to remember the positive side of things and to not be discouraged that change is yet to come. At the Kenwood Police Department, I'm Jasmine Smithers. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, there are expected to be 63,000 job openings for police officers next year, and police academies are seeing steady amounts of applications.
For a long time, FNN has been the only news program in Kenwood Public Schools, but now that's changing. Valleywood Middle School has recently launched their very own news show, as reporter Eliesa Cayoli explains.
Every Friday, students and teachers at East Kenwood know that they can start their class by watching the newest episode of FNN. But it isn't just EK students watching. Other schools around the area, like Valleywood Middle School, watch FNN, and after seeing how the high schoolers make videos, the middle school students wanted to create something of their own. Welcome to Titty in the Valley. Valleywood teacher Jennifer Wolf says that watching FNN videos in her classroom inspired her middle schoolers to start up their own channel to share news about Valleywood students, events, and more.
Well, we saw the awesome work that you guys do at the high school, and we thought, let's bring something here so the students can see themselves in action and get roles for it and bring to life Valleywood.
Every week, students get excited to experience the same work as journalists. From helping pick out new equipment to reading their news on camera, they get to experience it all. Getting in front of the camera has helped Valleywood Middle School students like Sanel gain confidence both inside and outside of the classroom.
So before, it was pretty low until I got this opportunity. It boosted higher, and it felt like better. So I can actually tell people how I am.
Today in the Valley is more than just a simple news show. It's a part of a class called Teen Leadership. They also do Math Buddies, their Links program, Student Council, along with many other things. Principal Shamali says that teen leadership has helped students create many opportunities for themselves, and the skills they gain mean a lot to them.
This class means a lot for students, so we're actually doing a lot within teen leadership. Ms. Wolf and the students that we have in here have created so many opportunities. I think our Today in the Valley is just one of the many. We've done Math Buddies at Medalon. We have our Links program through this class. Our student council this year started up through teen leadership. And so it's just really finding the joy and the fun in school again, and connecting it to some real world things that not only interest kids, but are gonna help them in the long run as well.
Some students at Valleywood are finding a passion for news work or video production thanks to their recent news program. Ms. Shamali explains her goal for the program long-term is to make it a full-time class just like FNN, full of passionate, hard-working students that will help improve here in the Valley.
Yeah, I think the goal for this class long-term is to just continue to grow this program and to start to identify kids who really are passionate about this and giving them some lead opportunities to kind of take it and make it their own, and really just make Today in the Valley a staple here at Valleywood.
You can check out Today in the Valleywood on YouTube to watch the cool videos created by Valleywood's teen leadership students.
Valleywood is hoping they can make their news program into its own full-time class sometime in the future.
Grand Rapids has been called the best minor league sports market in the United States. The Denver Nuggets and Detroit Tigers have minor league teams here, as well as the Detroit Red Wings. FNN's Brooklyn Gibson visited the Grand Rapids Griffins to learn about the journey and the challenge of keeping the professional athlete dream alive.
I first started playing skating around 5 years old. Yeah, my dad grew up in Canada and he played when he was younger, so he passed it down to my brother and I. I'm a smaller player, so I always looked up to the smaller NHL players who made it. Freshman year at college, I had a good year and I was kind of added some inspiration to me and motivation that I think I could play professional hockey. I was passed over in the 3 years of draft, but that I didn't take it personally. That kind of added some fuel to my fire and drove me, and I kept believing in myself. I would say the last 2 years I got to be on championship winning teams. We won the Calder Cup twice. I played in Hershey, so that was really fun. So I'd play there for 5 years, and I had some really good friends, and it was really cool to win back-to-back and like do that with your best friends. It was awesome. The coaching staff does a really good job at preparing us for games and good practices, and they do a good job of keeping a good culture in our locker room. And then as a team, we have a good mix of younger players, older players. Their practices are competitive. We push each other to get better every day, and off the ice, we enjoy being together and having fun doing different things.
And now that wraps up your news for this week and this semester.
Now let's send it over to Eric Allard for one last EK Sports Report for 2024.
Falcons, it's your girl Erica, and this is your EK Sports Report. While EK Sports teams are always competing for districts, regionals, or state championships, recently one EK athlete was competing for the chance to be the best in the country. I had the chance to sit down with one of the most successful athletes at EK, Gus Perton.
East Kentwood is home to some of the best athletes in the state, from football to volleyball to many more. Athletes had left their mark, but one individual recently made his mark on the national stage. Meet Gus Perton, a student at East Kentwood that's a nationally ranked swimmer. I got a chance to talk with his mom, Mrs. Emily Perton, about his background and how he became the person and swimmer he is today.
Gus was adopted when he was 21 months old from South Korea. Jason and I, my husband and I, when we decided that we wanted to go down the road of adoption, we knew we wanted to adopt a child with Down syndrome. I had some experience. I have a special ed teaching degree, so I had some experience with people with Down syndrome and found them to bring a lot of joy to life, and also felt like they needed as many opportunities as everybody else.
Go Gus! Good job, buddy.
So the first day that we met, well, the first day we had custody of Gus, so when we actually got to take him back to our hotel, we were like, my husband and I are both swimmers, and so we were like, all right, well, we gotta, it's sink or swim, baby. We gotta figure out if this kid likes the water. And so we took him to the pool, and it was Gus's first ever temper tantrum when we left the pool. He lost his mind because he loved the pool so much. And ever since then, when we got home, back to the United States, like we started him in swim lessons right away. First it started with just, my husband and I in the water with him, and then eventually it was him on his own in like a special needs class. And then we moved on from there. They were like, we think Gus can go to the regular class. So we bumped him to the regular class, and then he was in the regular class, and they were like, have you thought about doing swim team with him? And so we talked with the coaches for Grand Rapids Aquatics, and they were like, if he can swim 50 yards, he can be on the swim team. So he swam 50 yards, and he's been swimming competitively ever since.
When Gus first joined swimming, there were challenges regarding to where his real competition is, and took a leap of faith by trying out a new competition, the USA Down Syndrome team.
We are just going to give it a try. We're going to see what happens. We took a little bit of a leap of faith when it comes to we're going to Orlando and taking him out of school, and the cost that it takes to get there and all of that. But it was well worth it. Well worth it.
Gus has gotten second in the nation for his age group and category in the 200 free. Coaches and support system is a huge bonus during his journey to Florida. Mrs. Perton tells me how huge that impact is to Gus.
They have always just seen Gus as one of their swimmers. They have never said, oh, Gus has Down syndrome or Gus is unique. Gus is just a swimmer on the team, and so they've trained him that way. So it's always pushing him to get to the next level, coaching him just like they coach every other kid on the deck. He started with Graf and has worked his way up to Alex, and all of them have poured into him. I think the initial, maybe when we first put him on the swim team, they were like, what do we do? But as in Gus style, he shows them that if you raise the bar, he's going to reach it every time. He's just as capable as everybody else, and now that they see that, they expect that out of him.
Congrats again to Gus on all of his successes. You may be seeing all over social media high school athletes announcing their signings and commitments. But what is it actually like to be recruited and compete at the next level? FNN sports reporter Murray Mweni chatted with some athletes to get a better understanding of the recruiting process.
Each year, approximately 8 million high school students participate in high school sports. However, only 7% go on to play a varsity sport in college. Playing sports in college is a lot more different than playing in high school. There are certain requirements and level of preparedness you must have to achieve that goal. NCAA Division III Athletic Assistant Director Morgan Clyde offers his advice to athletes looking to play at the next level.
I've been doing this for about 24 years now. I coach football and track at different institutions. And usually when you got a 3.0, you'll be okay at 3.0 and above. Once again, it depends on the institutions. As far as time commitment, it depends on how good you want to be. Just being honest. If you want to just be on a team, there's going to be a different type of time commitment. If you want to be all conference or all American, you're going to put different time in. Depends on the sport. Depends on that coach in that sport. I'm a firm believer of quality of life for my coaches and athletes, and so that depends on you because you got academics involved. You want to be social. You got to hit that weight room, not just to get strong, but to stay healthy. You got to think about things outside of practice, especially recovering as an athlete. That is a major pillar in being successful. So that stuff takes time. And most freshmen come in not prepared, time management wise. There's usually a wake up call. So I'd like you to be aware of that.
One of the biggest parts of playing college sport is the recruitment process. This is a process in which schools and coaches scout for certain players to join their team. The process of getting recruited can look different from various institutions, athletes, and sports. Ella Zoroff, EK varsity soccer player who is committed to playing Division I sport at the University of Toledo, describes her recruitment process in a whirlwind.
The recruiting process, it was kind of a lot actually for girls soccer at least, but I feel like club helped me a lot because it gave me a lot of opportunities, like showcases, traveling like around the country. And I really think that if I didn't have that opportunity for club, then a lot of things would be different. So I'm really thankful for that.
Making the decision to continue playing your sport in college is not an easy one. Some athletes do it for the love of their sport, while others hope to play professionally and further on. Alana Bailey, varsity volleyball athlete and Ball State commit, is no stranger to what it takes to play at the next level. Both her dad and brother played in the NFL, so for her, the desire to play at the college level comes back to the love of her game.
My biggest influence would definitely be my dad because he's always giving me the inspiration to just work harder, just the mentality to work harder than other people, basically. So yeah.
To play a college-level sport, you must have a lot of faith in yourself and your decision, along with trusting in your skill and confidence shifting from high school to college. Mackenzie Dixon gives a piece of advice to fellow athletes who might be going through the rough recruitment and may feel discouraged.
So my biggest thing was just trust the process. I think that would be my advice to anyone going through it. So just trust the process. Everybody's process is different, And I would just say kind of just being my authentic self, just being who I am, doing what I know I can do, and showing what I know, yeah.
Everyone's journey is different, so know that your athletic career doesn't have to end with high school. At East Kenwood, I'm Moray Mooney.
Well, that does it for today's sports report. We'll see you back here next year with the latest from your winter sports teams. Now let's flip it back to the deck.
Thanks, Erica.
Now let's wrap up our final show of 2024 with a new segment. Robel Explain.
Falcon Feud has been something I've been working on for quite a while. It's our own spin on Family Feud, and I think all of you guys will enjoy it. Here's a clip. We're here at the football team. Our second competitor, what's your name?
Matthias.
Matthias, what is a major language class not offered at EK?
Swahili.
Is Swahili on the board? Top answer on the board. Wonderful. We got a third man. What's your name?
Lloyd.
Lloyd, what is a major language class not offered at EK?
Korean.
Korean. Is Korean on the board? Sadly, Korean is not on the board for some reason. It's tragic. We got a fourth man right here. What is your name?
Elijah.
Elijah, what is a major language class not offered at EK?
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese. Is Vietnamese on the board?
And that does it for today's show.
We'll be back in January with more, but until then, make sure to follow us on Instagram and subscribe to our Falcon News Network YouTube channel, where you can catch sports live streams, previous episodes, and other great content.
Plus, check the posters around the school to tune into our radio station and check out our Spotify podcasting channel.
We'll see you back here next semester.